Other guys try to fool you with a burger that's more bun than beef.
That's it?
You feel it pulling you in. It's like those golden arches are magnets, and you find yourself being pulled towards a McDonald's restaurant as if your car is stuck in a UFO's tractor beam. Well, break the bond with 10 reasons why you should not eat food at McDonald's.
Nothing beats 2 cheeseburgers with secret sauce.
Eggs aren't always just eggs.
Throw me a sausage McMuffin!
McDonald's has made a big deal in recent years of touting the fact that they use real eggs at their restaurants. However, a closer look reveals that this is only partly true. What we can tell you is that the statement is completely 100% true when it comes to the iconic Egg McMuffin. This classic and OG of the McDonald's breakfast menu items is made with a real egg and nothing else.
It's you! McMuffin!
You know this guy?
But if you order anything else with eggs, that is where it gets a little less than 100%. You see, one thing McDonald's says in some of their documentation is that we always start with real eggs. Start being the operative word there. Eggs that are deemed too small for the Egg McMuffins are sent to a break room where they are cracked and turned into liquid eggs that get used for other items, such as scrambled eggs, egg whites, etc. However, preservatives and other additives are used in this liquid egg mixture. Why they only use 100% pure eggs for the Egg McMuffin and nothing else is a mystery. If they can do it for one, why can't they do it for everything? Hopefully one day they will 100% live up to their real eggs claims.
Eggs gone! Stupid!
Most of the beef is still frozen.
I keep this frozen meat in case society collapses, but we still have power.
One of McDonald's biggest competitors is Wendy's, and one of the biggest distinguishing factors between the two chains' hamburgers, besides the square versus circle shape, has been the fresh versus frozen factor. Wendy's is famous for always using fresh, never frozen beef in all their burgers, a claim McDonald's was never able to make. However, instead of diving right into the fresh meat pool, McDonald's did no more than just dip their toes in. Back a couple years ago, McDonald's announced that they were going to use only fresh meat, not frozen, but that they were only going to do so with their quarter-pounder hamburgers.
Unbelievable!
For some people, this may not be a big deal, but McDonald's did say that they sold a lot more quarter-pounders after making the switch to fresh meat, so obviously it is something that matters to enough consumers out there. And if that's the case, why not do it for more of your hamburgers, especially the most delicious and most important one of all, the Big Mac?
I'll have the Big Mac, please.
All those toys.
You are a child's plaything!
On the surface, the toys that come with a Happy Meal aren't bad. The problem with the toys is that the company uses them as a way to hook in kids at a young age. They use that little hamburglar race car as a gateway drug to French fries and calorie-heavy Big Macs for life.
That explains so much.
What about those unhealthy fast food chains like McDonald's who draw the kids in with toys in order to get their unhealthy, albeit addictive food into their mouths so that the next time they are hungry, they plead with their parents to take them back to McDonald's again and again and again? The Happy Meal was introduced in 1979, and it might surprise you to know that in 2004, said meal accounted for about 20% of sales for the burger chain, which actually made McDonald's the largest toy distributor in the world.
One of the finer toy dealerships I've ever visited in my life.
French fries aren't vegetarian.
Do we sell French fries?
We all know that McDonald's has arguably the best French fries in the fast food world, and as a vegetarian, they would probably seem like the best bet to quench your hunger and enjoy something yummy at the same time. Well, not so fast. While it's true that the fries don't contain any meat products in them, they are just potatoes, they are actually made with an oil that is flavored with a meat extract. The company made a big deal years ago about ensuring their vegetarian and vegan customers that their French fries were made in 100% oil and not beef fat.
Don't lie to me.
And while they technically didn't lie, they did fail to mention that the fries are treated with a small amount of beef flavor before finding their way into the fryer. A lie of omission, if you will. One can only imagine that this beef flavoring prior to frying is a key to making them the great French fries that they are. However, lying to the consumer is not a good look for a company. So either stop adding the beef flavor or just warn the vegans and vegetarians out there.
Would you forget your French fries to go with the soda?
I had them already.
Yeah?
They offer delivery.
Yeah.
Delivery.
McDonald's was one of the first fast food joints to get into the delivery game, going all the way back to 1993, when they introduced the service in a few locations across the United States. These days, McDelivery is available in numerous countries, and they have teamed up with Uber Eats to support the service in various locations as well. Whether practicing social distancing or not, eating that Big Mac while sitting on your couch at home is always better than doing so in a restaurant. And if you have kids, doing at-home delivery means you can keep them away from those slides and ball pits.
You can start sorting protons and neutrons while I build carbon atoms.
And if they don't offer delivery in your area, then they most definitely have a drive-through window that you can take advantage of.
I said French fries!
The McNuggets.
Can't afford the McNuggets because he's a McLiar.
The McNuggets have been one of the most controversial items on the McDonald's menu for decades now, with people always questioning just how much of a chicken McNugget is actual chicken.
I don't like McNuggets. I'm a vegetarian.
Well, as a result of McDonald's trying to be more open about their foods and allay any fears people have, they do say that the McNuggets are made with 100% Grade A USDA chicken. That sure sounds good, but as Christopher Ochner, PhD, pointed out, it says made with and not made of. So there's no way of knowing what percentage of the whole nugget is actually chicken. He also did some detective work, and it might interest some people to know that white boneless chicken is almost a pure protein, boasting a phenomenal 0.2 protein grams with less than 20% fat. McNuggets, on the other hand, have a very mediocre 0.046 protein to kilocalorie ratio. This seems to suggest that the other ingredients besides chicken are the primary driver of the macronutrient profile.
I will screw my courage to the sticking McNugget.
Low wages for employees.
This is a hard job.
So is working at McDonald's, but you don't feel the need to tip them, do you?
Ever wonder how fast food at McDonald's can be so cheap? One of the reasons they can offer quick service at such low prices is because most of the workers in these fast food restaurants work for very low pay. That also includes no overtime pay or any other benefits of the sort, and holidays are often an afterthought.
We have to go. You just threw a milkshake in a restaurant where they make minimum wage. It's a YouTube thing.
You're probably thinking, hey, at least they get minimum wage. Well, that was something else McDonald's tried to put a stop to. As movements were growing fast around the United States to push the minimum wage to the $15 an hour mark, one of the staunchest detractors of this movement was, you guessed it, McDonald's. After much backlash, the fast food giant actually took a step back and in 2019 announced they would no longer oppose the raise of the minimum wage. This is certainly a step in the right direction, and McDonald's stated that they will not use their resources, including lobbyists or staff, to oppose minimum wage increases. Here's to hoping they become more proactive and raise the wages for their current employees.
I started on cleanup just like you guys, but now, see, I'm washing lettuce.
Animal cruelty.
What? Come on. Do I look like a steak to you? Yeah!
McDonald's talks a pretty good game as far as the treatment of animals goes, but they don't appear to have been walking the walk to match the talk they've been talking. The official line from the company is as follows: "We believe treating animals with care and respect is an integral part to our commitment to serving McDonald's customers safe food." That is exactly what we all want to hear from a company that serves us food. However, in 2018, animal rights organizations got together and broadcast a VR experience meant to take people into the factory farms where the chickens are raised. According to reports, there was some disturbing animal cruelty taking place. Whether they knew the negative report was coming or not, McDonald's did announce right around the same time that they were going to improve and raise the standards of care for their chickens by 2024. This is a step in the right direction at least, and it seems like McDonald's is taking these claims seriously and doing something about it.
You're coming home with me.
Because while many people have no problem with eating meat, many also take issue with cruelty to animals in order for us to eat them. Let's hope McD's truly heads in the right direction.
Eat me. That's all I'm good for.
Your weight.
Like swimming and eating and tennis and eating and riding and eating?
This is the most obvious and the one we should get out of the way right off the bat. While McDonald's has tried to introduce healthy options over the years, there is no denying that eating Mickey D's on a regular or even semi-regular basis is bad for your health.
All right, the fat people have spoken.
And we aren't just talking about the calories. Let's take their most popular offering, the Big Mac meal, and break it down for you. A Big Mac, French fries, and a Coke. Doesn't sound too bad, right? Well, this trio is going to fill you up with about 1,080 calories, and for many people, that doesn't actually fill them up, which means more food and more calories.
Feed me, if you dare.
Depending on your body and fitness level, you might be able to burn 1,000 calories walking on a treadmill at a good pace for an hour. But remember that hour is just burning off your Big Mac meal. In order to actually lose weight, it means doing more than that. Looking beyond calories, your Big Mac meal also provides you with over 40 grams of fat, more than 60 grams of sugar, and 1,255 milligrams of sodium, which is over 50% of the daily recommended value. Look, if you are treating yourself to a delicious meal from McDonald's every now and then, it is probably okay, but do it with any kind of regularity and your body won't be very happy with you. Didn't get rid of all artificial preservatives.
Disgusting.
As consumers have become more health conscious and more savvy about what they are putting into their bodies, McDonald's has had to adjust and make concessions in how they produce their food and what goes in it.
We passed the health inspection!
One of the biggest moves the company made towards producing cleaner food came back in September of 2018, when McDonald's announced that the 7 classic burgers sold in the United States would now be free of all artificial preservatives, flavors, and colors. Those 7 burgers are the hamburger, cheeseburger, double cheeseburger, McDouble, quarter pounder with cheese, double quarter pounder with cheese, and Big Mac.
That is not a Big Mac.
Big Mac's a Big Mac.
McDonald's has more on the menu than those 7 burgers, which means as much as they understand removing artificial preservatives is important, it wasn't important enough to remove it from all their food. If you would like to avoid those items, the ones that still have artificial preservatives, colors, and flavors include Egg McMuffin, Bacon, Egg and Cheese Biscuit, Bacon, Egg and Cheese McGriddles, Filet-O-Fish, and several of the signature crafted sandwiches. Tap that screen for another great video, and to all our subscribers, thanks, and be sure to ring that notification bell.